Welcome to another week of the village. Villagers, welcome. Appreciate you all. Good evening and welcome. How we doing? How we doing, villagers?
Hey, welcome.
What's good, Joanne?
I
Dr.
am
Fun.
well. And you?
Doing great. Doing great. Just I was just talking to some parent teachers conference. Um, and it was interesting. I was looking at this document that we have in terms of parent outreach.
hmm
It just made me think how even the AI kind of summarize the commentaries that were in there, and I was like, oh, like I just
Which
went in.
AI were
It
you
was Google
using?
Forms. It was Google Forms, but Google has their Gemini integrated
hmm
into their apps across their system, their ecosystem, and so it just really summarized some of the points that teachers have put into the document about whether it's academics, whether it's behaviors or celebration. That was I found that piece interesting. It gives you pie charts of what was focused on, whether it was behaviors, celebrations, academics. So that was pretty cool. I mean, AI is doing something, man. It's just going and going, advancing more and more. Um,
Good thing.
so that's but talk to some parents. Really, a lot of celebrations. The positivity is needed. Teachers going through so much throughout the year. It's like I need positive calls.
I think
So
every educator with every change that's taking place, um, I think it's depending on what type of school environment you have, students
yeah.
are worried. I think there's been a lot of die down in
Mhm.
regards to the whole ICE movement is just
Mhm.
taking a back step, which is great, so that
Yeah.
parents are not afraid and kids can be kids.
Yeah, I mean it's still there. I like you said, but you said kind of like it's like a
A
slow
shift.
down
hmm
aspect to it. Um,
hmm
we just have to figure out some solutions with that itself. Um, so, but yeah. How's the week? Otherwise, how was the
This
week?
weather is a problem for me.
Oh
From
man,
80 degrees to snowing today,
yeah,
I'm
I
like,
saw
come on, can we make up our mind, please?
I saw a bit of the snow. It's quite something. I think John is here. Let me pull up John. What's good, John?
Bless. Everything's good. How's everybody doing today?
Yeah, Joan is mad at the weather, as I am too.
Yeah.
Joanne, for you, Dr. Bryant, for you to be mad at whether and you're a woman of faith, this is this is God. So how can you be mad? Are you mad at God? That's what you're saying, Dr. Bryant?
Why you switch things up on me? I never said that. It's just all over the place. This is how people get sick and pneumonia.
That's
Ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen, yesterday you got a little warmth. Today, watch out. There you go. And tomorrow's back to the 20s and 30s.
yeah.
So we go from 80. It's a roller coaster.
The
It's like
transitionary.
life. This life is a roller coaster, right? Right?
That is
Am I
true.
right?
True.
Yeah,
Okay.
That is true.
life is certainly a roller coaster. So, so let's guess we jump in it real quick, or not real quick, but there's a lot going on. We still got the launches happening. Iran launch attack on 3 ships in the Strait of Hormuz, raising the global energy fears. How y'all feeling regarding the gas prices about to run up? I mean, they're already running up.
Gas
But
is too high.
yeah,
Period.
yeah,
But you
but
know what? Charles Schumer had made a suggestion
hmm
to the president about,
hmm
hey, you know what? Stop taxing all the Americans that way. Use your reserve. And I'm glad that he actually did, or he's
yeah.
thinking about it or about to let it go.
But here's the
So,
thing, though: the reserve, there's only enough for 10 days
mm,
or so, and once that go run out, then what? And then it also takes time for the oil from the reserve to get to the places that they gotta get to. And then they have to kind of like, okay, let me take out from here, and then I gotta send it to different places. It's a lot of um I guess bureaucracy stuff as well. Um which by the time they do all of that, man, people are already kind of like annoyed, frustrated with it. Oh, it's quite something. It's quite something, and he Trump keeps saying that this is going to be finished soon, but then now he's like, we're not leaving until we finish the job, though. It's like, bro, come on.
So here's the thing, like this afternoon, they mentioned that there's a rescue effort because underway for the U.S. military because they're refueling one of the military planes that was refueling another plane actually crashed in Iraq. So it's gonna be
Wow.
interesting to see if the passengers survive, and if they did, are they gonna hold them as hostage?
Of course they will.
So it's been real, but it's getting a little more heated now. So just very, very interesting. So this happened today,
Yeah,
and let's hear what's next.
man.
The saga continues.
uh and I look at some of the images, videos, and it's sad, man. Because all that the strikes,
The kids who died
yeah, it
unnecessarily, and actually the United States is responsible for that.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Let me ask you a question. So we should let Iran have a nuclear bomb?
John,
I'm
um,
asking you. Should we allow Iran to have nuclear weapons?
so the interesting thing about this war, one day it's about the bomb, the next day is about the oil, the next day is about something else. It just keeps changing, similar to Venezuela. Every
I
day
think
is changing the goal. We went in because of this. We went in because of Israel. We went in because we know that they were about to attack us. We went in for every single reason. We went in. But 165 children died innocently.
yeah, but you know what? Prior to that, the Ayatollah killed 32,000 people who were just exercising their freedom to protest.
And
So it
it's
comes to a point in time. I mean, you know, I don't believe in getting involved in regime changing or getting
Well,
into
that's the
wars.
goal that he said. That is one of the
I can
goals.
understand that, but then you have atrocities going throughout the world. Then my problem is that then you create a situation where other people are going to want you to get you involved in this and that.
But here's the
So
thing.
I mean, it's
Everyone
damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's the
everyone
whole
you
point.
disagree with, you're going to try to remove. That's the thing.
It's
I
not the time.
understand. Similar to Venezuela, okay, we don't agree with Venezuela. We remove the guy, and he's in the United States in a jail. So, okay, now, all right, you killed Iran leaders and military staff and everything, and now is going to go after Cuba. So, every country we are not happy with, or better yet, the cartels. Originally, they were just bombing boats that was everywhere, and they said, hey, they had drugs. There was no proof of drugs. So everything we don't like, or we assume, or we
So
think in
Doc,
our mind,
Doc, what do you propose to do then? What
we
do you
don't.
propose to do to prevent? You got the cartels, you got the drugs coming in, you got what are you
So
doing?
so it is said, just like all of the immigrants are, terrorists or murderers, or that's hey, one person becomes the entire immigration population. So that is a problem when you start classifying everybody the same. That is a problem. Originally, ICE was supposed to be, hey, to remove the criminals or whatever. Then it becomes innocent kids or students going to school. How does it change so quickly? So war is changing per day. Everything is changing per day. I don't know.
This is you know what, this is when when you're America and you have to, we're not asking you to police the world, but Iran has been a problem for a long period of time, and what do? We just sit by and let they do their sporadic attacks. We allow them to create nuclear weapons to use it at some point in time. The whole thing about it, any country is the people are concerned about the political stability of countries, because at some point in time you have these rogue countries, these rogue nations. They could just go off. They can create chaos. They can engage in biological warfare. Cyber attacks and
North
things
Korea
of that matter.
do the same thing too.
That's
Russia
true,
could
but
do the same thing too. So why didn't he attack those?
Because you know what?
Why?
Because if you look at Russia and you look at North Korea,
there's no oil just right there next to it.
The United States is unpredictable, and that's what they're afraid of. They're not predictable. Under the other administrations, you're predictable, but this president, you don't know what the hell he's doing. It's just like you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what he's going to do. So you got to be mindful. You're going to be mindful, because if the United States is not under some administrations, you can attack, but they're not going to escalate it to this magnitude. They're going to continue to do their things, what is it?
Substantially.
No, subtitiously. What is it? Surreptitiously. And I think what has caused them to hesitate has been this president's unpredictable nature of doing things.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I disagree. I think there's more, hey, if it's not land that they're looking for, it's oil that they're looking for. There has to be interest for this president to get involved, because there's plenty of other places. He's doing worse than what Russia did. And then Russia even had to say, hey, you know what?
What do you mean? What? Hold on.
I don't remember.
He's doing worse than what Russia did. What?
Russia started
what's that?
What with Ukraine, right?
With Ukraine.
Right.
Over what? Over what?
He wanted land, more land.
What did Russia? What I'm saying is, what did Russia? Oh, so what has Iran did to America? What has Iran done in the Middle East? What has Iran? Aren't they responsible for terrorist incidents and acts throughout the world?
When I know they attacked some of the military bases, is that would that be what you're referring to, John? The military?
No,
bases?
prior to that, all the other incidents prior to this.
Over the decades before.
Are you saying
over the decades? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think U.S. I think the U.S. entering sometimes with this, something like this is also, perhaps it could be the chokehold, to put China in a chokehold, also to ensure having leverage. So going there and taking over Venezuela, now having that leverage with the oil, and then doing a chokehold to prevent China from getting their oil from Iran through that Strait of Hormuz, which has about a third or more of the oil going through there on a daily basis. So I think that plays a part into it. Strategic efforts.
There has to be a greater reason why they get involved, because things happen all over the world.
Roger,
I think more strategic. I think what you're saying, Andre, is more strategic, meaning basically chokehold, China chokehold, Russia, the ability to grab oil from Iran and countries of that nature. their ability to do that. Should you cut them off strategically? Same thing with Venezuela.
And then now, even with that, that itself is worrying about the international scope, but then now your people in America now, where inflation is going to run up, but then now he's pressing the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates. But if they do that, you risk even a higher chance of inflation running up even further. So it's like the way how Trump handles this, though, is annoying. I don't know if I can really rationalize, but I also get this strategic move itself, because if we are second in the AI race, or just leadership, really, I mean, and mention the impact on US itself. US is really the ones in lead with the race right now. So it's hey, Roderick, how you feeling, boss?
Hey, good evening, villagers. Good evening, everyone. Hopefully, everyone
Good
is
evening.
having a good week. Happy to be joining you today. Though my time might be brief, but still happy to join. So I missed some of the conversation. I don't know, Andre. I keep having issues with this login and the different links that comes up on my screen and saving this space, this bookmark space. But my chime in with the US's rationale or Donald Trump's rationale for colluding with Benjamin Netanyahu has a whole bunch of prongs, whole bunch of layers to it that some are good for the United States and some of them are very, very bad for the United States. One is I'm thinking about when Benjamin Netanyahu allowed for the attack on his own people, on his own Jewish people, killing so many of them as a political stunt to save his Patukas in office.
You mean ass, man. Come on, Tukas. What's Tukas?
Right?
I don't know Tukas. I don't know Tootie, Tukas.
And allowing him to have this sympathetic vote that he's going after Palestine and the Strip to protect the Jewish nation, when in fact he was a direct cause of it. So Donald Trump, in his own words, stated that if the Democrats win midterm election, he's getting impeached. Right? He was very clear about that. So he could be using this collusion with Israel to save the Republican hide. Right? Hold on.
We're listening, guys.
So if in the front, the back, the side of his mind, I'm going to convince the American people that all the bad that the Iranian leaders have done over the 47 years, and it's time for us to attack. The question is, why now? Right? So that's one. Two, why keep attacking, like Dr. Brian said, these nations that are defenseless, who truly have no real military comeback to what the United States arsenal can do. Even if they had 100,000 troops and the United States sent 50,000 troops, they'll still annihilate them. So again,
However, Roderick, you know what puts them on equal footing with everybody else? You know what puts them on equal footing with all the other countries? Nuclear weapons. And the ability to set off those nuclear weapons.
again, that's in Iran's case, but it's not in all of the government that they're going after, right? So it's important that we look at that. Third, there's still a hometown war between the Democrats and the Republicans about the path to be engaged in this war. Right? There's that issue. Right? That there's a process in which we, as Americans, can enter into conflict with another country, which was circumvented. So there's a hometown war, right? Our behavior, right? So those are some things that we have to think about when we're making these arguments, right? There are more, but I want to stop there. I'm in pain, guys. My side is kicking.
Your ass.
All right. My ass, John.
All right, baby. All right. So if that's the case, then thank you for your commentary, Mr. Daly, and we'll take it from there, sir.
I want to say hi to Jerry.
Oh, so Jerry, your audio, your video,
Yes.
are you there?
Your video-
I'm here, but my camera's not working, unfortunately.
Try logging out and logging in.
No, that's not going to work. There's a problem. There's a basic problem with the camera. I tried to come in on my phone, but I wasn't able to connect on the phone. So we can go ahead this way if you're okay with it. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get the camera to work.
Is anybody coming on with you? I thought.
No. Unfortunately, Kevin and Jose weren't able to make it.
All right. I just want to say hi. I'm not up to it tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, just proud to be part of the Bonnie's family. I've been part of the Bonnie's family since 2016, since my son Grayson was 3 years old. The Bonnie's family helped to teach young men, young women, the beautiful game of baseball.
Yeah.
They've been around since 1949. And so this is their 77th year, I believe, of teaching young people baseball. I've sent some people on to MLB, get drafted, make some really good money. I've helped some kids to get some really good college education, where they come back and help to support their family, taught their kids leadership, and most importantly, they bust John's ass when John was a kid. And for that,
Yeah.
We won't talk about that.
John has had a grudge lasting over 40 years.
Man.
with the Bonnies. Welcome, Jerry, to the show.
Thanks, Roddy.
But unfortunately, I'm gonna take my depart, guys. I can't handle it.
All right.
All right. Jerry,
Hey,
like,
Jerry, so how are you, Jerry? How are the
wait, hold on, John.
Roderick, feel
Mhm.
better.
Yeah, hold on, John.
He said, hold on.
Andre,
You.
try sending Jerry the link to his phone. There's a text message. So you can click on the link if you send it to him as a text message.
Okay,
Just-
we'll try.
And this way he'll go on. Gentlemen, ladies, villagers, thank you so much for being supportive. As I get better, get stronger, I'll be able to spend more time with you guys. So God bless. Have a great Thursday. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
All right. Jerry, I'm gonna send it to you. See if you can try click on that link from how the phone is and
Okay, no, I'll try. I was having trouble connecting on my phone.
all right. If you can try again, if it doesn't, we will just come back on like this. All right.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. I definitely have a question regarding just even sports too. Just thinking about how students operate today. So let me see. Anybody here uses ChatGPT or the AI like Gemini, Anthropic?
We all use some form of GPT, from
Yeah.
your GPS to everything you use. Your phone actually do it automatically with or without your consent. So we're using it constantly, going to restaurants and things like that. So it is a form of AI all the time.
you know something, man, I lost I couldn't get into my phone a week or so ago, and my keyboard wouldn't come up. It was just chaos. And eventually I had to go to Samsung, and they had to, I guess, from the factory restart my phone. That means I lost I lost everything in the phone. And I've just realized how much we are dependent upon our phones. It's dangerous. You know, we rely so much on our phones, and without them, we feel paralyzed. You know, so just technology, just being a slave to technology, to do everything.
It's quite true. I did a lesson on that as we're looking at Frederick Douglass, and I highlighted Plato's allegory of the cave the other day in class, and I showed the students there's a picture with kids in the phone, but in the place that they're in is a cave, like a home itself, but they're just on the phone. And then I had one picture with the ones outside enjoying nature, all that stuff, and I asked them who's more free, right? And so most of them said the ones that are outside, you know, enjoying nature, playing with nature and all. And then I had like one or two kids said that the ones inside on the phone are more free. And I'm like, wait, explain that. And they said they have a choice. And I was like, you know, so having that choice to be able to choose one or the other, you know, we have the choice, but then it's also the discipline, right? Because you have people who they know that, you know, doom scrolling and really I'm sorry, those
What?
I'll tell you later. So, you know, people who do the doom scroll and really on their phone, they know that they have the choice, but it's also a discipline, because some people are not able to just turn off. And I see that in a lot of the students them too. They struggle to disconnect from the devices.
Not only students, you have a lot of adults the same way.
Adults too. You know, so give me a moment. Give me a moment. I gotta step off for 2 seconds.
Yeah, but you know, I just realized we are just a slave to technology. It's not that's not comfortable, man.
Oh, Jerry's back.
Yes.
Yay! You made it back, and we can see you.
Okay. Hold on a second. Problem is, I'm on in two places.
Let me kick you out of that other one.
So you need to try to shut off my computer connection.
I think you did it. Perfect.
Yeah, I think you're good.
Okay.
Good now, Jerry.
You see me?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. How you doing?
Okay, I'm doing fine. Just a few technical difficulties here, you know.
Yeah, that's okay.
But-
That's okay.
But thanks a lot. It's good to see you guys again.
Good to see
Definitely.
you.
I was just talking about the technology and trying to disconnect and being outside. And I have students who play like some sports, the basketball, volleyball, all those other sports really. What do you think is going on with the students? A lot of them are not showing what I think should be like that skill set to be outside. It's like they don't touch grass, or the lack of that experience and all. How do we really motivate, encourage them a little bit more, really push young people to be more in sports?
It's really difficult because they're really into the technology now, and I'll tell you an anecdote which I think will describe it. Right. So when we used to take the team away on trips, we'd stay in hotels. The biggest challenge was getting the players to come back to their rooms. Okay. Now, when we go away on trips,
They
the
don't want to
biggest
leave them.
challenge is to get the players to leave their rooms. If they all want to stay inside and play the video games and all that. So it's really been a very big change in the approach that the youth are taking, towards electronics and towards sports and the whole thing.
I have a question. How are they using more electronics with the sports? Are they implying any form of AI, maybe in some of the warm-ups or whatever?
No, I don't think it's really reached the AI stuff. I think in terms of the youth is still, pretty recent. The way they mostly use the sports with electronics is the video games they play, are the baseball and the basketball and the football video games.
Because I know that in basketball they do have simulations the same exact way where the kids can actually play basketball and learn their form, and it also checks and correct them at the same time. So I'm wondering how baseball, nothing similar.
We haven't seen any of that yet. No.
Is that like virtual reality stuff you're referring to, Joanne?
It is. And some of the basketball centers, some of the new ones, you can actually see that and play.
Wow. That's kind of I don't know, immersive, I guess, immersive physics driven gameplay. And I even have my virtual reality where I go on sometime, there's a lot of sporting things that you could do. You play with other people when you connect the reality itself, and that itself can become I say scary, but at the same time I also understand this is where we're going towards. But there's like that taking a balance aspect to it.
But
Right.
if they have self-driving cars, you understand?
Yeah.
So here it is with sports, the same thing can be done in regards to adding technology to help some of the kids with their forms and helping them with their forms and making more interactive in regards to supporting their skills along the way.
Yeah. So Jerry, I know, as you mentioned, one of the struggles is really getting them out of the room, right? Until they can come out. Are there other challenges faced with Bonnie Youth, like funding, facilities, participation, and if there's like solutions, like how have you try to, I guess, find solutions for that?
Sure. Yeah. Well, again, a big part. One of the big challenges is, getting in, attracting enough youth, to play, particularly in the younger ages. We range in age from age 4 all the ways up through college age. In the older ages, we still get pretty good turnouts of players, but in the younger ages, we're really struggling to, have enough players to both from a quantity and a quality perspective,
Yeah.
to field the kind of competitive teams that we're looking to field.
Is it because of the price?
No, I don't think the price is a big issue. I mean, we work with anyone. First of all, on the price side, we do have obviously what we call a membership donation,
Mhm.
and that ranges from about $400 in the 4 to 6 age group, all the ways up to $1,050 in the older age groups. Okay, but we're willing really to work with anyone who has an issue. In terms of hardship. We've never turned a player away because of money, even when we didn't have any money. So it's not so much that. I think it's a combination of, number one, the neighborhood that we service has changed.
Mm-hmm.
The area around Church Avenue, Flatbush Avenue, around there used to be much more baseball oriented, and now it's much more soccer oriented.
Mm.
So the clientele that we're servicing, it's harder to find, young players that are interested. And then it's really hard to get into the public schools. We try to, see if we can get into some of the public schools, the elementary schools, and do a free clinic and a sign up. But what we found is that the only way to get into those schools really is through the principal,
Mhm.
and the principal is always, too busy to be dealing with what we're looking for.
Mm.
So
I
that's
don't know. I kind of disagree. It depends. I would disagree with that, because the thing is, if there is a need or if there's an interest, they'll make it possible for people to. Some principals I know will make it possible
Right.
to open up the door. Right.
well, we're open to suggestions in terms of principles. Because we have tried. Cold calling is not really effective.
Yeah.
You have to really. The two schools that we do work with are PS 119, which is on Avenue K, right off of Flatbush,
Mhm.
and PS 189, which is on Farragut Road and Albany Avenue. And we have, they've been responsive, and we have done clinics there. But other schools that we've
198?
tried,
Is it 198? Because 189 is in 17.
um,
I think
it's in 17. It's right across from
Lincoln
from-
Terrace Court?
it's right across from where the community board 17 is.
So that's 198. PS.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. So we do have one of the president of our organization teaches in that school.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
well, you know him. He was on the call last year, Kevin Rice.
Yes.
Mm.
So through him, we've been able to get into there, and we have a parent who's very active in PS 119,
Mhm.
and we've been able to do some clinics there to try to attract additional, players.
Now I have a question. Your clinics need space on the outside, correct?
No, not necessarily. We do these as more like a cafeteria or a gym.
Okay.
So it's not, you don't need a full blown baseball field.
Okay.
But in some schools, it's hard even to be able to get into the cafeteria or gym because they're so, heavily utilized.
Mm.
Yeah, and a lot of places have construction happening, years and years of construction. They might not have It's the truth. Space
Yep.
or, ongoing 10-year construction work. The age group that you're looking for is what?
Well, it's primarily the 4 to 6. Okay, because that's
Okay.
and in the 4 to 6 age, it's a
It's
developmental program. It's not meant as a competitive program. So we basically take anyone, whether they've ever played before or not, and the goal is really to teach them the game, develop their skills, cultivate their interest in baseball,
Mhm.
and then have them move up the organization as they get older and develop their skills, and eventually get to the point where we can help them in terms of high school and college from both a academic and athletic perspective. So our goal is really to bring players into the organization in the 4 to 6 age group,
Mhm.
and then support them all the ways, through college, and see them graduate from college and become solid citizens of the community. Yeah.
And this is that disciplinary aspect you had mentioned. So in terms of, or rather apart from the school, has it been a challenge to get those age group, or and I guess the solutions or anything you try to get those age groups in?
Well, I mean, again, we try to get into the schools because basically our model is a pipeline model. So the
Mhm.
model is that you bring the players in, again, in the 4 to 6 age group, and then they move up the organization, through the pipeline, and service all the other age groups. So that's why the schools are such a key to us, because if we can get into a few schools where we know that we will get players that are interested, we can take those players and develop them and see them move up to our older teams as they get older.
And how do you do the clinics? For example, if you do go into a school, how would the clinic look like? Give a description of it. Is it plastic? Is plastic I guess bats that they're using? How
Yeah,
does it
well,
look?
they're
Do the parents
mostly clinics are
there?
mostly are more on the defensive side. So it's gloves. We use a cloth ball. Usually, we use a cloth ball, which is called a Incredible, is a brand name, but it's basically a cloth baseball. That's not a hard baseball, because kids that age are really a little too young to be dealing with a real hard baseball that can hurt them.
Mhm.
So we really use a cloth ball. We use throwing the ball, having them field ground balls and pop ups, and we do some calisthenics. We do a number of different things that that can interest players of that age.
Okay. Okay.
And if we do any hitting, it's normally with a batting tee. And you use wiffle balls, which are again, soft balls. But it's mostly usually at first it's usually more on the fielding side.
Okay. Okay.
So one of the things that I guess, in terms of Bonnie's youth itself, or maybe people who may be listening who haven't really heard of Bonnie before, what makes the organization special? Why has it been able to last for so long, for so many generations, for generations?
Sure. So let me give you kind of the 5-minute background. All right. So the organization, as Roddy had said, was founded back in 1949 by Al Bonney Sr. and his 2 sons, Al Jr. and Joe. Mr. Bonney had a moving and storage business on Church Avenue. And what he decided to do is he wanted to do something to give back to the community. And what he decided to do was start a baseball program. We started with 1 team back in 1949. It was a college age team. And over the last 76 years, we've grown from that to where we are today. 250 players, 13 teams, ranging in age from 4 all the ways up through college age. And, basically one of the things that we try to do is really to grow our players. You know, there are a lot of organizations. What happens is the players come in, but from one year to the next, you know, they may turn over about half of their players.
Mm-hmm.
Our pride and joy is that as an organization, we retain about 85% of our players from one year to the next. So over a period of years, we're really building up a commitment and a loyalty, and I feel like a family.
Right.
Okay. Also, one of the things that we've been able to do well is have players come back after they've graduated from college and settled down into whatever their professional career is going to be. And number one, have them come back and be managers and coaches in the organization, so they maintain the tradition of the organization. About half of our managers and coaches were previously players in the organization. And the other thing is that, you know, we have a number of third and fourth generation players. So players that come from families that have been with us for four generations.
Right.
So it's very much a tradition oriented, family oriented environment.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of success stories to point to. You know, we've graduated about 150 players from college over the last 15 to 20 years. We currently have about 50 players in college, about half of them on academic or athletic scholarships. And many of them have gone on to become doctors and lawyers and teachers and engineers, policemen, firemen, as well as, you know, professional baseball players.
That's good, man. Really a lot of just accomplishments, a lot of things to be proud of. And the Bonnie, as you said, been around for so long and still really making great accomplishments. Joanne, it looked like you wanted to ask something, or no?
Who would they contact? For example, you were saying that principals are hard to get to or whatever. Who would they contact if they wanted to do a clinic?
They would contact me. And you know, we'd love to get into some schools, and, you know, really, you know, the key thing is to get into some schools and do clinics and signups and be able to do it in those schools on a yearly basis. So those schools then become our pipeline, you know, for moving forward.
Do the parents have to be there when you have your clinics, or
Well, this is one of the tricky parts. They don't have to be there, but you know, the problem is that if they're not there, it's hard to, you know, get them signed up.
Mm-hmm.
So what we try to do is do the clinics from 3 to 5. So that maybe by the tail end of the clinic, the parents could be there and be able to sign them up. But it's not required that they be there. But I mean, ultimately, obviously, to sign them up in the program, we would need to be able to interact with the parents.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
No. This is good to keep in mind. Okay.
So one of the things that I like hearing different perspective from different times. You first joined when it was around 1962. And so from your perspective, as how has youth baseball, the youth development in general changed over the decades? Like, what have you noticed then compared to now? How has it changed?
Sure. So one is, again, you know, on the you know, the interest side, you know, there's basically kind of two categories of youth baseball.
Mm-hmm.
There's one category that's much more recreational in nature. So the players are playing, but they're not necessarily focused on, you know, moving on to high school and college and, you know, becoming players at that level. And then there are more serious programs like ourselves, which are, you know, highly competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking to not only, as an organization, compete at local, regional, and national levels, but also be able to produce high school and college, and in some cases, you know, professional players.
Yeah.
Now, what's happened is that the number of recreational organizations has probably somewhat increased, but the number of really highly competitive programs really have declined significantly. I would say that if you go back, let's say 25 years, there were probably 15 organizations like the Bonnies in the Brooklyn area, all of whom ran highly competitive programs in pretty much all ages. And today, there's maybe one or two programs like ourselves, and some of them are even more recent. They just came into being. But there's really not a lot of competitive teams, travel teams in the Brooklyn area.
Right. Okay. So that's a good point. Different things happen at different times. As you look towards even like the generations later on, and even just for young athletes, I guess advice for young players, they're listening. What advice would you give them about balancing sports, academics, and life goals? And I'm asking that too because I think even with students and how much they take on in the classroom, you give them time, but they have so much happening at the same time too. What advice would you give them about balancing all those things while they're in the sports?
Sure. Well, first of all, I mean, obviously, it's extremely important. What we stress really is that the academics is as important as the athletics, because the bottom line is that not only in terms of future careers, but just getting into the schools of your choice, you really have to have the academics to go with the athletics.
Yeah.
The other thing that's extremely important is that what we find is that players who are more who have grown up in a more structured environment, in terms of balancing, say sports and their academics, they do their homework, they have good study habits. In addition to whatever they're doing in baseball, those are the students that tend to be successful at the college level. Okay, the students who don't have good study habits coming out of high school and don't really have the discipline to balance their academics and athletics usually have a tough time in college, because you really can't, unless you're an exceptional, top of the class student, you can't succeed at a college level without that kind of structure and discipline.
Certainly, discipline, man. It's not even just motivation; it's discipline.
Yeah, so it's really important, and going so. For instance, we've had a number of students over the years that have gone to Edward R. Murrow High School. Now, Edward R. Murrow, as you probably know, is not a real structured environment. It's a much more, I won't call it a leisure environment, but the students are pretty much more on their own. And what we found is that students that come out of Edward R. Murrow, have a tough time in college because of the fact that they don't have the discipline and the study habits that are needed.
Okay. Yeah. And those are the things. Those are some important things. What do you think, Joanne?
I guess it's the way those you're mentioning, the kids who graduate out of Edward R. Murrow that are athletes from there. Our focus are more that way. Not all of them are like that.
Well, no, I'm not. I don't want to paint a. I'm not trying to paint a one picture. But we've encountered a number of students who have gone to Edward R. Murrow that just haven't gotten the kind of study habits and structure that they needed to be successful. It's not everyone. Obviously there are students. Edward R. Murrow is a very good school, and there are students that thrive in that kind of environment, and others that don't.
That needs more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and definitely. Yeah, there's definitely depend on students too. I definitely think really like even schools I've been at, some students who don't have the structure and some who do, but it depends on the student, depend on how they learn. That's some good points. You have any other questions, Joanne?
I actually have a suggestion. How often do you guys get involved? Like, there's always community functions happening all the time. do you guys participate in like community functions? Like if there is like a I know that community board 17 had the block informational session where everybody was there. I think Roger had put it together, the block out or whatever. Do you all get involved in that type of forum to introduce the parents? Because children come out and a lot of parents come out as a way
Sure.
to set up to recruit children.
Sure. Well, we probably don't as much as we would like to. You know, one of the problems is that our program is a very extensive program. I mean, pretty much our teams play every Saturday and Sunday, so it's hard to kind of
Okay.
combine some of those things with what our program does. But for
And
instance, we did
maybe-
attend last night. Community Board 14
Mhm.
has a youth fair that we've gone to for the last number of years. And that's an example of something similar to what you're describing, where there are parents, there are young players, and you get a chance to interact with, the parents and the players.
And maybe consider having a family type of game, where the parents versus the children, and maybe they bring some others. So that might be something you might want to consider,
Uh-huh.
family style game. So everybody come out to play baseball. If they want to learn, they can do that, so that you have all types of demographic there, family style,
Right.
And even just echoing that too, we had students playing with teachers. They
Mhm.
want to beat the teachers all the time. There's coaches, teachers. I mean, we dust them. We destroy. Today we were.
Let me tell you, I'm
volleyball.
gonna be honest with you. I actually supported a school several years ago who
Mhm.
had students versus teacher, and guess what? Two of the teachers end up going to the hospital.
Oh, yeah,
One
yeah.
had to have major surgery,
That
and those
happened.
kids dusted them that
Yeah.
they were left behind, critical for a whole year.
Yo,
So
don't do the crazy sport, or don't go in.
it
if
was
you're not-
basketball too. It was
Yeah,
basketball.
Yeah,
So
if you're
it
not
wasn't-
if you're not
yeah,
like such a basketball player, because when the
everybody's
kids
a
them,
basketball player.
yeah,
Mhm.
when the kids them wanna play and they wanna beat you, yeah, they're gonna
Mhm.
go in. So today we just did volleyball. I think that's a light sport. So but it's enjoyable when the students are playing against the adults, no matter what it is.
Mhm. Like a block party style.
Yeah.
Block
Yeah.
party.
Well, we
and-
do at our annual picnic. We have a Labor Day picnic, and we do have a game between a softball game between the managers and coaches and the players.
But
and like-
remember, that's people that's already there. So if
No,
you
that's
do it
true. That is people that
outside,
are people that
you're
are
gonna
already there.
have- Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yep.
Some of the former players coming out to teach some of the newcomers, or some people who want to actually learn from the best and have a coach day, that might recruit more people as well if they are into baseball.
Yeah.
But
Right,
even
right.
if they're not, that could be a way for you all to recruit more.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I mean, I think this was good, Jerry. This is a yearly thing, as you know.
Oh yeah, it's become a tradition.
Yeah. So
It's one of the signs of spring,
yeah. for real.
and we
man.
certainly needed a sign of spring this year.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, from
Yeah.
spring to snow, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's good, just to really hear how Bunny's been doing, and Roger, continues to give praise about this. I mean, look at his two sons.
Yeah.
And
They're
the
going all
the older one he's just been going in that baseball.
Oh yeah. No, he's doing very well.
Yeah.
It's all about exposure.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you won't know. If you're not exposed to something, you will not know. So it
Yep,
is
yep.
amazing that you guys continue to do this. And I look forward to speaking to you so that possibly we can have something at one of the schools, or introduce you to one or two.
Yeah,
different-
no, and again, if you know any principals that we could speak to, we'd love to do so. Because
Okay.
that's
How can
that's
some
really
people reach out to you? That's important. How can they
yeah,
reach
that's
out?
an important part that we're missing. Because if we had a few pipeline schools, I mean, we would be in a much better position in those younger ages.
Right. So please, please, please share your contact information so that we can have someone listening come and reach out to you and share with you. Um, each one pass one. If you know a great school looking for, especially
Yeah,
our pre-K and kindergarten kids to be exposed to something traditional or something new, please, please, please reach out to the Bonnie, because the thing is, children need to be exposed to as many different sports as possible. So, baseball is something that some kids might not know. So, what is the number information? There you go. Thank you,
That's correct,
Andre.
right?
yeah,
BonnieYouth.org.
yeah. And
Yeah.
if you could text me your email address, I could send you. We do have a an email that we send out, to potential principals
Yeah.
looking to try to set us something up, with a clinic and a sign up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So make sure check out the website and reach out to Jerry at 718-941-4698. All right. Good to have you, Jerry. Definitely see you
Yes.
again next year.
Yes, and thanks for inviting me. Yeah.
No problem.
And have a wonderful season.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care.
You too. All right. So yes, Joanne, man,
Andre.
the sporting thing, man. When I see my students, I see that, doing basketball, not just them, but
But
just
let me
most
tell
other
you, there's
school
a lot
kids.
of money in baseball
Yeah.
that people don't know.
Yeah.
It is an underserved area for a lot of blacks. So
Yeah.
and Hispanics. So please, please, please come on out there and try something new. And I
Yeah.
think if they had a family type style, let's
Yeah.
do it. Let's try it.
Yeah, and overall, just with today's youth, like as we
Mhm.
talked about earlier, it touch grass is something I say, like, guys, you gotta touch grass, or sometimes how I see them move on the field, like you said, the exposure, not having the
Yep.
exposure, and I
Mhm.
really do think too when you're able to play on the field with them at the same time too,
Mhm.
it builds that spirit of competition. All right.
Yes.
I wanna beat you. So that's good though. It's very, very important. Um Now
Yeah.
you see how I think you had posted regarding Justin Jackson Jr.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
So
wild.
yeah, it's interesting because the thing is, he was offended at the fact that the former presidents and vice president
Hmm.
actually made a comment about the president.
Yeah, I think he was annoyed that they spoke in a way where they bring politics
Into-
in the whole thing.
But
Um,
here's the funny thing:
mhm.
his dad was political.
Yeah,
He ran for political office.
yeah,
So for them not to bring that because he was a fighter to say, hey,
mhm.
about injustice and everything,
I
would
think. Sorry, go
mhm,
ahead.
would actually, I understand it's a funeral or whatever, but he would be outspoken too.
Yeah, yeah. I think what it was, I think I read the little note that Obama had mentioned. But then there was others too. I think the son was more annoyed too that the words were implying political sides, and we're
Yeah,
saying
because
Jesse didn't care which side. It was like, yo, if we're gonna fight for equality, we're gonna fight for equality. I think that's what really,
oh,
like,
because of Democrat versus
yeah,
Republican.
yeah. I think that's really what took him off,
But here's the crazy thing.
off.
He
Yeah.
get upset about that, but he don't get upset about the fact that they won't let him lie in a public area since he was a public figure.
Mm.
So he's upset about that. Where the guy who got shot, Charlie Kirk,
Mhm.
they allow him to go and lay up in a so-called federal place, and Jesse Jackson, who actually made changes because of him, a lot of firsts,
Mhm.
not the same. So he should have been upset about that. I understand Trump gave credit, like acknowledge him, but I guess he didn't want. I don't know. It's very strange to me. I
Yeah.
get it, but I don't get it.
Yeah, as I mean, to each their own too.
Yeah,
I
funerals
think,
bring the best and the worst out of people.
yeah, I think, yeah, if we're in his shoe, we probably would understand more, but we're not. So we only speaking from the outside. So that's something. So
But
is
he
there?
left a good legacy. I
Yeah,
can say that, a lot of people been passing away, unfortunately, this year, but we still
every
continue.
year,
Yeah,
every
yeah.
year, every
What
year.
will your legacy, what will your dash be? That's the thing. What will your dash be in between?
It's quite a quote. I'm having a birthday wishes, by the way.
What birthday? No. Oh, actually, yeah, a couple of people celebrate March 10th. A lot of birthdays. I can honestly say a lot of birthdays March 10th.
Mm,
But yeah, it's something.
yeah,
Um, it is definitely something. I am looking forward to the spring. I thought I had brought out my spring clothes, ready for the spring, and tomorrow what? 20 something degrees.
you sure? I think I look at it. I don't remember if it was 20. I think it was probably like a little bit higher. But the weather is
Oh
gonna do what
wait,
the weather does.
before you end everything, there is a
Mm,
couple of things that that actually was interesting because similar to what Sophia shared with us, but
mhm.
we've known the Trump administration asking the
Oh, yeah,
Supreme Court to let it and
come
to
come
end the
in.
deportation protection, to end the
Yeah.
TPS. So
What do you think
that's
about that?
interesting because the thing is, TPS was set up for places that are going through difficult times.
Yeah.
And right now, if the United States mention, hey, you know what, you shouldn't travel to this place and that place and this place because of gangs or robbery or things,
Coming
how do
to view.
you, in the same breath, say, okay, deport everybody back? So
Making sense.
I'm not sure. I know it's about, hey, the other judge says no, put a hold on everything, but now switch, I guess, because he can play around with the Supreme Court. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, w- Trump is the way how he's moving in his administration. One thing takes attention from another thing,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you notice the Iran war. While there's many reasons why the strikes happen, notice people ain't talking about Epstein files.
Mm-hmm. But it's
That's,
still there. It's still there because they're
yes, it
still
is.
interviewing people,
But the conversation ain't happening like that on media because something else has taken
taking the
hold.
place
And
because of.
one
Mhm.
of the things that are have been going around as question too is how is he gonna do this during midterm year? So there's a lot that's riding on what is expected. We still have the
The
federal.
last couple of elections
Mhm,
hasn't been favorable for Republican at all.
mhm.
If he didn't notice that,
Yeah.
so the
Does
more
he
he
care?
does,
Does he care
the
though?
more, huh?
Does he care?
The more this man do, is the more his people get cut off.
Mm.
So
Um,
it is very, very interesting
yeah.
to say the least.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
it's like, hey, what's the next episode that's gonna happen next week?
It happens, and it happens daily too. Because he'll come up and wag his tail, try to say something, I was watching a video highlight his negotiation book, a book that he wrote. I don't remember the name, and one of them was about publicity, right? Good publicity is better than bad publicity, but bad publicity is better than no publicity, right? So if he can't get the good one, it's just like, shoot, it might as well be bad. Because
here's another thing. You brought it up earlier about AI. One thing's for sure, I know that the government wanted control of the whole AI to actually control some of the military thing. But
go ahead.
you also have to prepare for, just like you also got to prepare. All of our banks are now tied to some form of AI or whatever. Backing up your system is important to do.
Make sure you pay attention.
Have an account, because remember 9/11, some banks lost complete. I'll never forget, MCU lost everything. So always make sure you have paper documentation of what's happening with your account or whatever during these interesting times. And especially the stock market is going up and down, up and down, up and down. It's getting hit.
It's in a indecision zone, right? I think people are just waiting right now, and the people who are getting stomped out are just like the newbies who are impatient. And so with a market, investor, you have to be patient, and while you're being patient, you're researching, looking at data.
You know what I'm waiting for?
What?
For the price of homes to go down.
Yeah.
In New York.
Well, you're gonna be waiting for a while, because this is New York.
Well, here's the thing. With everything, no, seriously, if you pay attention, homes that's been on the market for a very long time, I'm seeing more and more homes, 150 days, 300 something days, eventually drops. It's not moving as fast as many people thought that it would move. Those $1 million, $1.5 million, $1.6 million started dropping down to under $1 million. So all of that, people can't afford it no more. All of that. And the war is not helping this situation. Because like you said, if interest rate drop again, I don't know.
Inflation's gonna skyrocket.
And a lot of people are moving out of
New York.
And why?
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on.
Going upstate is cheaper up there. Going downstate is way down. It's also cheaper down there.
A lot of people, massive exodus to Florida because they don't have to pay taxes.
There's that too. So I mean, at the end, people just gotta do their research on these things. Really, what you want, you have to really look for it. It's like needle in a haystack. So
yeah, and the thing is, what's sad right now, just because we're at war with Iran, automatically people are put in a category like, hey, if you are Muslim, you're automatically this. And it's very unfortunate because that's not who everybody is.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that, the whole attempted bombing happened during a protest against the Muslim and anti-Muslim. But it's scary times right now. Everybody's on guard.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's on guard. But it's disrespectful that it was done next to the mayor's home.
Yeah, that was wild.
Like, hey, you come from Pennsylvania to come and do this? Do this in Pennsylvania. Don't do that here. Don't do it at all. Because but it's just like, come on. You don't know this man. So why are you coming over here to set off some craziness, agitators?
Yeah.
To come and set it off. It don't make sense.
Yeah. It's frustrating to see that.
And it's young people.
Yeah.
They're watching YouTube and everything to train. Like, yo, if you can do that YouTube to train, you can do YouTube to do something fabulous.
It's not even just the train. This is a result of influence, media influence, because you have youths watching, even what like they're watching us, and there's that influence to be on a particular side. And so when you have someone who may be engaging in some type of media, and the growing what do you call it, partisan aspect of things continues to grow to the point wherein there's an extreme connection to a particular side, you end up just have grown hatred for the other side. I think this is where media and those who are in the media have to start also realizing the power of words, or the power of headlines. Because certain headlines, like, you can have the same information, but one headline is designed to play on the human's emotion. And, you know, when people play on emotion, that's also another thing as it connects to regulation. So it really starts with all the media present stuff. So but you know, as we are here, really we try to make sure that we encourage the safe, we encourage the critical thought and financial well-being. And that's what we do here at the village. So, you know, thank you for joining us, family. As I mentioned, we're dedicated to ensuring safe, financially well lives, and we try to do this on a continuous basis. I'm Andre, and this has been The Village with Dr. Joan Bryant. We will see you all next week.
Take care and keep our fearless leader, Roderick Daly, in your
prayers. Yep.
Okay. So take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Peace out.
Good night.